Your family.
All right. Welcome back to the Bobby Dizzle podcast, everybody. Remind everyone to visit bobbydizzle.com for all ways to like and subscribe and follow. And please subscribe to this channel. But enough about me. Tonight we are joined by several members of the Delaware City Ghost Hunters operating out of Delaware City, Delaware. The team of paranormal investigators specializes in investigating otherworldly activity in the home, place of employment. You can find them online at DellCityGhostHunters.com or on Facebook. All those are in the description. Now, your esteemed colleague, Mr. George Blanchfield, shared some pretty cool evidence with me already, so I'm excited for what's maybe in store tonight. So without further delay, who all we have on, let's pretend we're in group therapy here, and let's tell a little bit about yourself.
Good, Jonathan.
I'm Jonathan Rischel. I'm one of the video techs for Delaware City Ghost Hunters, and I help with setting up our infrared DVR cameras at various locations when we do when we investigate a home or business.
George.
Hey, I'm George. I'm just a lead investigator.
I'm Dolly. I'm the director of the Delaware City Ghost Hunters.
I'm Wendy Long. I'm investigator tech, just set up equipment, and I also investigate.
Susan Fox, investigator.
And Paulette, I'm an investigator too.
You can't hear him.
We can.
Talking.
Yeah, he's talking.
Sorry, my kid was hollering, so I muted for a second. So I talked to Tony Avalone last week. I think you know him.
Yeah.
He was telling me, this is kind of off the wall. He was telling me about how there's certain products that weren't meant for ghost hunting, but somehow got adapted to it, like the kitten toy. One of them, the kitten toy that lights up when you touch it.
Oh yeah.
Are there anything like in the Bigfoot world they use peanut butter for some reason? Is there anything like that? Is there anything like that in your team that you use that maybe not specifically for indicating paranormal presence, but
Yeah, we use millimeters and we use bells.
Bells. Oh,
Yes.
We'll attach them to the doorway. So if they any air movement, it will actually let us know that there's something there.
also it just rings when it comes through.
Yes.
That's kind of cool. You think I would always wonder if there was something you could put in there if the temperature changes, it would set some kind of alarm off if it goes from hot to cold really quick.
No.
It
just has a millimeter. It'll tell you what the temperature is.
Yeah.
I think some models have like some function in it where if the temperature drops real suddenly and an alarm will go off.
What was that instrument called? I thought you said millimeter at first.
The Mel meter.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. I thought you said you used millimeters. I'm like, well, that's interesting. They're in the metric system in Delaware. Something I didn't know. We're just now getting used to electricity. You're over there in Eastern Europe. So where does the demonic aspect fall into your bunch? I know Tony said he left you guys and you did more demonic things. So I wanted to.
That was another team we were. That was a different team.
Oh really?
Yes.
Everyone's running from demons. So you
Yeah.
don't.
We don't do demonic cases. We pass them on to somebody that does.
Yeah.
I don't blame you either. That stuff's terrifying.
Yeah, only been one in my life. I'll never go again.
I don't blame you. What was that like?
It was creepy, dude. And the whole thing was cool. Father Joe was with us. He kept chasing it around the house. We didn't see it, but he's seen it. So when he cornered in the basement, he's doing a prayer. He's throwing holy water. So later in the week, we played a recording. As he's doing a prayer and throwing holy water, you hear his thing screaming and cursing at him.
Father Joe. Yeah, I'm Catholic as well, so that kind of stuff just sets.
Yeah.
It hits a little closer to home with me. Yeah, where's Father Joe? Is he here? He's not here tonight?
He passed away.
He passed away.
R.I.P. Father Joe. What's the diocese called up there where you're at?
I don't know. He lived in Pennsylvania.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I've often wondered who my exorcist was up here. Like, which parish is he at? Is it we're the diocese of Birmingham, which is like an hour away, but the cities where I'm at is kind of growing a little bit bigger. So, did they move up here? Does it work like the military? You go to the bigger cities, you get POS somewhere. I don't know. Do they sit in the back like an air marshal? I don't know. I don't know how the exorcist works. You got any what's your favorite most creepy real story? That's what I'll ask you next. As far as
Creepy
The one-
real stories.
the one that goes down as like your best story your best experience you've had. I know you got one. All the
The one I had, we did for another team. We were investigating an old bakery,
Mhm.
and we were in the basement, and it was me and Paulette. And the owner come down with us, and I told him we're going to turn all the lights off. He goes, "I'm out of here." He left. He never came back. So we're sitting down there, we're doing an investigation. We get nothing, so we're going to leave, and I got scratched on my back and on my arm. Yeah.
Wow, so that's was it a big scratch, like a human sized hand scratch, or was it?
That was just two separate ones. One, they were each single. One on my arm and one down the center of my back.
Okay. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about how they were more ghost.
I never
cats.
had three. No.
Oh yeah, no. I've heard
But
someone say that
sometimes when they get scratched, it's just that the ghost doesn't know how much power they have in their hands that will actually scratch. It doesn't mean that it's demonic or anything.
Oh really? I've heard it's either demonic or a cat, so that makes sense. I've never heard it's actually a ghost.
Mhm.
Like maybe a deceased cat living in the house.
Yeah.
Seeing the paw prints. You're the one that said you saw the paw prints going across the bed.
The bed, yes. And our bedroom,
yeah.
yeah.
Almost told you your story you told me just now.
I
Like, yeah,
sent you that picture of that cat behind the plastic, and it wasn't even our cat.
yeah, I thought it was like I thought the white of its nose, but that was just a reflection of that plastic. But still, that was a cat back there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like sticking out either. That was like a silhouette of a cat, but
Yeah, when it was crazy.
I know it's not impossible for a cat to be somewhere like that. That's totally in a cat's MO.
Yeah. Then we had another cat, and we had all these orbs in our basement, and we kept taking pictures. And Paulette captured a picture, and we blew up the orb. It was a hand running down the cat's back. The cat got sick. Okay, we took it to the vet. They ran all these tests. Couldn't find nothing wrong with it, but it lost like 20 pounds, and we ended up putting it to sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
We had a cat here that just got sick for no reason not too long ago and lost all the weight. Had to put it down.
Yeah.
I don't want my house to be. I think she ate clover though. Yeah, she ate the the little daisies that grow in the yard, like little daisies.
Oh, yeah.
She ate those. My daughter made like a wreath out of them for like a crown, and it kills a cat quick.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they don't tell you that. It's clover and those little daisy things.
Yeah.
Had to put her down. She couldn't move. About a week, we'd find her like in the back of the house, just
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a dog. We had a dog here, and there was a portal in the basement down by the dog cage.
Mhm.
Or the dog had blue eyes when I got it, and his eyes turned jet black, and they stayed that way till he died.
Was that the same portal where you heard the talking?
Yes. Yep.
So you would just go down to the basement and hear the talking and come back up, turn the light on and go off.
It would stop. Yeah. It was crazy.
When you first told me that story, I was thinking of that show, The Watcher, where they had that they had that tunnel in the basement. I thought you meant that somebody was actually down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have most of this up on audio somewhere. We just have to find a disc.
That's wild. Like when you go out on these things, you always what are the questions you ask, like the questionnaire before you dispatch? I know if somebody calls you, say I hear the knock in the attic.
We asked them first. We asked them if they're what do they hear, We also asked them to do a log of the time that is happening for us. Excuse me. We asked them, is there any death in the homes that they know of? There's a whole list of questions. There's about 25 questions that we asked them before we actually go in to investigate.
Yeah, I would think there'd be. I think the potential for a false alarm there might be kind of big. Like we hear people get squirrels in their attic, stuff like that.
Yeah, or bats. Yeah.
What was the one I heard? There was somebody had an owl in their attic walking around. It sounded like a human.
Really?
You know, those things weigh 30 pounds, stomping around.
Yeah.
And what Tony was talking about? I go back to him. He's the last ghost hunter I had on, so it's fresh on my mind. He was talking about the oh my God, what did he say? Well, the batteries draining. That's one thing I was going to ask about. How much?
Yeah.
Yeah, when
Does
you
that happen-
build
does that
a
happen a
station,
lot?
take plenty of batteries.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
you
you
can put
didn't-
brand new batteries in it and go down there. They'll draw the energy right out of it. It'll go right down to nothing.
So does it just drain the batteries, or does it mess with like the hard drive and the chip as well?
Now it's usually just the batteries. They take the energy from the batteries to do what they got to do.
When we investigated this house, George's house once, we all had new batteries in her. We went down to the basement, and my camera batteries just went. And I didn't even get any pictures out of it. Came upstairs, and I asked, where should I throw the batteries? And you heard, we didn't hear it right away, but when we did our tape, we heard the old lady that has passed away say, toss them.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, one of our investigators just got off of work, and his shoes had mud on them. And you heard the little old lady say, dirty boots.
Really? Yeah. So she was still.
Oh,
she was
she's
still
still there.
protective.
Yeah,
You know
she's still
you know what you should do? I worked at Kmart for 3 years back in high school and college. And little old ladies would get pissed the heck off if you would squish their bread.
there.
You should get like loaves of bread and just start slapping it and see if it get like a Tesla coil that's doing the wonk and start just crushing bread. So she materializes with a rolling pin. I wondered if anybody had ever done that, like had some kind of energy source for him. I don't want to say the name Zach Bagan, but I know that he had something like that. It was like an energy source for him. I wondered if in the actual world of it, is that something he did?
No.
Like 4 or 5, like a golf. You know how like a golf cart battery has like 6 batteries.
Yes.
Set one of those up for him. Like use this instead of our cameras.
Yeah, right. That's an idea.
Well,
Yeah, it is.
I don't take any trust in what he does anyway.
Right.
So,
Well, that's kind of an example. It was crazy. He had it set up and it was live streamed. It was awful.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty much just an electric fence that was popping the whole time. Is what it looked like.
Because he's been doing it for like 30 years and he sees an orb and he loses his mind. I'm like, come on,
He's
dude.
always affected somehow.
Oh, yeah.
And has his little dramatic.
We were down in the sorrel weed house that I probably talked about this last week in Savannah, and they said that Zach faked a possession down there.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's just out for ratings anymore. That's all he does.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But what about his little museum he's got? Apparently that's got
that's
legit stuff in it.
That's kind
I'd
of
like to
creepy.
go see that.
Yeah.
I'd like to go in there.
Yeah, he's got a lot of weird stuff in there.
Is that in Las Vegas?
Mm-hmm. I had a friend go there. It's like it has the stuff like not Robert the Doll, but stuff like that. All those notable
Wow.
little attachments.
I had Robert the Doll for a while.
I don't know.
Oh, yes.
Have y'all ever been to see Robert the Doll? That creeps me out. I don't even like mentioning it.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to go near him.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if it's real? Like,
Disrespect them.
Right.
what if it's real though? It's like, I don't know if any of y'all are like in the army or in the military or anything, but it's like talking to a higher up. Like whatever you do is wrong around Robert the Doll.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no right answers. You have to, what is it? What did you have to ask permission to take pictures?
Yes.
To introduce yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you have to tell them goodbye when you're leaving.
Mm-hmm.
If you miss anything, then stuff starts
Don't
happening.
antagonize them or make fun of them.
Right.
Like those guys come back and begging Robert the Doll's forgiveness.
Yes.
Please don't kill me. I know that that movie they made about him was terrifying.
That was good.
Yes.
That was good.
Which one? That wasn't Insidious, was it? There was.
I don't know if I've seen it.
Yeah, we did.
It was
There was.
good.
It's not Annabelle because Annabelle was real too. Annabelle was Conjuring, I think.
Yeah.
I get it
Yeah.
mixed up. There was like 4 that came out at once there,
Yeah.
and you go down to. I don't know why he's in Key West. Was he the one? He was the one in the attic that kept looking out the window, wasn't he? You built him a bed.
Yes.
Killed the dad.
Yep.
Sitting here racking my brain from all the late night Travel Channel documentaries. there used to be one that would come on late at night about this family that was sick that moved. God, was it Delaware? The kid was sick.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it was somewhere with those colonial houses. You know what I'm talking about? The big the Home Alone kind of houses. And it came out that it used to be a funeral home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They move up here in Delaware and they start paranormal teams.
They moved down here and just raised taxes. That's what they do. That's how when it happens when you move to Alabama.
Yeah, that's what they're doing here. Everybody comes to Delaware. So,
You got one famous Delaware resident.
Nah.
You don't claim them.
they didn't vote for that one.
No, you don't claim that one.
You don't claim Jill's husband?
Nope.
No.
You know, when I was talking to George on the phone yesterday, I always wonder like where anyone stands, because everybody knows how I stand when I say 3 sentences, and I'm like, wonder where he stands, because he sounds like he probably stands on the maybe the right side, but I can't ever tell.
Not me. I ain't got nothing to do with Teflon Joe. I ain't got nothing to do with Teflon Joe.
Basement Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I go through. I don't know. If I told you, but I go through and like do a random number generator to find the state. What order the state joined the union, and Delaware being one. It came up 1. I'm like, no shit. I didn't know Delaware was the first one. I thought it would be like Virginia. I thought it was like Virginia. And like I forget Delaware even exists. It's the first. I get it confused with Rhode Island out there.
I mean, you go to other states and they say,
You're
"Where
from
you
Delaware.
from?"
They
Delaware,
say,
and they're
what
like,
state's that in?
exactly. What state?
What state is
Yeah, well-
Delaware?
Yeah, well, at least I know what Delaware is.
Yeah.
I know it is a state, and apparently it is a hotbed for paranormal activity because there is 1,000 paranormal teams there.
Told you. That's something about, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's that website. The directory is like 4 or 5 pages long.
We have a lot of water here.
A lot of water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where spirits get their energy from water
it's a
stuff.
conductor.
What about a cryptid up? Do you have cryptids? I mean, do people call you like MUFON about anything that happens? You know, MUFON gets Bigfoot stuff too.
No.
Yeah.
I had a guy from MUFON on. He was a guy I worked with actually, and he was saying that he got just as many Bigfoot calls being MUFON as he did UFO.
Wow.
And Delaware is on the water, on the Delaware Bay. Imagine that.
Mhm.
It's like a little history lesson for me.
I think that's why my house is haunted, because the prison's right out there in the
Mhm.
bay, and then the little streams and stuff run behind my house. And the prisoners used to escape, and I think some of them drowned back here because they cleaned out a marsh area and they found a black Civil War soldier's burial ground.
Really? Oh yeah, I
Yes.
remember you saying something about a prison there. I didn't know if you said it was the prison or they came there and died.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's kind of like the plot of Great Expectations. Yeah.
And you're close
Anthony.
to
You also had the Fourth military
Mhm.
base.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was there, so.
Mm-hmm.
That's Island.
Yeah, Peapatch Island, yeah.
There's a military base up there I talk to a lot. Now I'm sitting here thinking about it. Delaware. I'm thinking for some reason Langley Falls, Virginia comes to me. That's clearly not Delaware. Wilmington. Where is it? Anyway. Yeah. Sitting here, this is how these usually go.
You don't want to go to Wilmington.
Wilmington.
You don't want to go to Wilmington. Especially now.
Stay out of it.
You won't come back.
That's like us talking about Atlanta and Birmingham. Don't do it. What's worse, Wilmington or Baltimore?
Wilmington right now.
Really?
Capital size.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baltimore's bigger.
Yeah, but I think for as
They're both
crime,
scary to me.
it's Wilmington, Camden, then Baltimore.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, somebody's always getting shot in Wilmington.
Every day.
Well, they were just up here in Newcastle, the cops where they said there was shots fired in Remington Acres. I don't know.
Is it in Newcastle?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that where the beer's from? Newcastle beer?
No. No.
Delaware
Sounds-
seems like it'd be a place. It's one of those places kind of like Boston or something and have a lot of Irish.
No.
Why? Yeah. What kind of projects do you have coming up? At reports have you gotten lately? Back on the paranormal subject. Since we're off of
Well, we
Western
have
Seattle.
most of our investigations are private homes. So we do have 2 private homes investigation that would be coming up in March. And then we have anything else up?
Not right now, no.
We don't
Oh.
advertise or charge for our investigations. The clients actually comes to us and we'll go out to the business or to the private home.
Now you obviously have regular jobs. It's not
Yes.
just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Retired.
that's when I do these shows, I'm like, I don't know why I get so discouraged when people say they have to go to work. I'm like, this is so much more fun than work. Why would you want to do that? Wait a minute. Why did one of my friends just send me something about haunting in Connecticut? Wait. They need to comment on here if they're going to talk.
Hey, Bob, we had friends here. They used to live up here. They bought a house down at the beach.
Mhm.
So we were going to help them move. So they came here Friday night. We made a game plan for Saturday. Okay. So his wife goes, "Hey, you care if I get a bottle of water in the fridge?" I was like, "No, go ahead." She goes out. She gets a bottle of water. She comes back. She says nothing the rest of the night. Absolutely nothing. I was like, "What's wrong with you?" She goes, "No, nothing. So we go down. We help them move. Right. We go out to dinner and we're sitting around the table. She goes, "Oh, now that we're eating dinner, I'll tell you what happened." I was like, "I knew something happened. I knew it." She said she grabbed a bottle of water. She turned around and she seen a Civil War soldier guy stand at the top of my steps.
Really, like a Union soldier?
Yes. Yep.
But you're close to the fort.
You're close to the fort. That's probably where it came from.
Yeah.
How in the world do you see that and just walk away? I guess it just stunts your.
How can you not tell anybody?
See, I was doing 2 things at once. I got a friend chatting me on Facebook about something. I'm like, get on the video and chat it. What are you doing? But anyway, I'll get back to that. But like we were in Savannah and my wife saw a Civil War soldier pop up for a second or two.
Yeah.
But she told me right then, I'm like, Jesus, we got to get out of here. She goes, no, let's see what else we see. Like, what else we see? Hell, I can't see these things. They had the IR camera going, and stuff was just popping in and out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I sent you those pictures of that skull that came out of our closet. So
Yeah, that's weird.
that was freaky.
Yeah, what was that? Was that the same? You sent the one that came, streaking down the stairs.
Yeah.
And the one, was it the same one from the closet?
I don't know because
No.
the one that come out of the closet, you can actually see the skull face, and that thing was going down the steps was blue. So I don't know. I don't know if it was just trying to get out of here. I don't know.
I was just wondering if it wasn't the same event that caused it.
Yeah.
They were
I
at
was
different
just-
times. They were at different times, is what I was saying.
Yeah. I was just sitting
Okay.
there just taking pictures, and that thing just happened to pop up.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
It was all sideways. Oh, we have a question from the audience. And little Eli. Yeah, that's the best thing about these things. You get going about 20 or 30 minutes in, the people start getting the algorithms, and they come in asking stuff. He goes, were there any moments where you thought, I can't do this anymore in your ghost hunting experience?
Not yet. I haven't.
No,
No.
not yet.
Not yet. Got a bunch of ghost hard asses here. I mean, there had to be like really scary moments though.
I mean, if one started beating me up, I'd be done. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Can they do that?
Oh,
I
they
guess
can
they can
hit you.
scratch you a little bit.
Yeah, they can hit you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they can.
Follow you home, do
yeah, they can.
What about that? Have you ever been attached, had an attachment, like a shadow person?
No.
Yeah, those things are. I have a coworker that had that happen to him, and I'm like, well, you're telling me this, and I know you're not lying, and that's freaking me out right now.
Wow.
We kind of think our office is haunted, but because at night, well, people walk by and hear typing, and if you're alone in a room, somebody will start typing.
That makes you think. Like we'll be in bed and you still hear people walking up down the hall in the house.
Yeah.
What do you do in that situation? What's the
Just turn the
Let's go.
fan up. That's all.
Here's where I asked a question that I always wanted to ask and I never think of beforehand. But like when you live in a haunted house, like when you hear something like that at night, what, like you said turn up the fan, but what your initial thought, like how do you pull your head on the covers like the monster under the bed rules, or
No.
No.
No, but we were in bed one night and it sounded like somebody busted the kitchen window out. That freaked me out. I get up with a flashlight. I'm walking around. I'm checking all the windows in the house. Nothing's broke. I go outside. Nothing's broke. So I couldn't find nothing.
That was the night you told me to lay on.
Yeah, I told her lay on the floor in case somebody gets in the house. I turn around. She's right behind me.
she got a pump shotgun ready to go.
Probably gonna throw me whoever comes in the house. Here, take him.
It's a cuckoo clock. Hilarious.
Oh yeah.
How New England was that? Oh my God. I feel like I need a Paul Tuckett pat right now. Yeah, like you think of like on that Haunting a Hill House movie, stuff would just come down the halls at night.
Yeah.
And I know it's not obviously not that real, but I can't think of like what I would do if I knew it was haunted and you feel them there when it happens.
Yeah.
Obviously, at least once or twice you felt them there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like after my grandmother died, I was laying in bed I used to get up in the middle of the night and watch TV for like a half hour. I don't do that anymore. I think it's because I got older, and now I need my sleep. But I would get up at I would wake up a lot at 3, the bewitching hour. And one night after my grandmother died, I woke up and I felt like somebody was in the room, or just felt this weird, the heavy feeling. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
It's just like something's happening. And I tried to turn on the direct TV and it was broke. Like it's never, it doesn't. I had to get up and I could just I have to walk past whatever it is. And for some reason I thought it was my grandmother. It may not have been. It was just heavy on my mind, and maybe the veil was thin
Yeah.
with me at that point, and it could have been anything. But I had to. I kind of thought she was messing with me, but I had to reboot it. Then at 3:00 in the morning, it works all the time. All of a sudden now. So that's kind of like how I that night is the closest I've ever felt to being haunted, as far as paranormal goes.
Well,
So I can't imagine hearing a glass break in the middle of the night. That would end it for me.
The lady that used to live here, we talked to her son. Every night she would watch Jeopardy. So we'd be sitting here watching a movie, and the TV would change to Jeopardy at 7 o'clock every night.
Holy shit! Really?
It's
All by itself. Yeah. It was
Does it
crazy.
still happen?
No, it stopped finally. Yeah.
What was the
And then
time frame
one-
from her death to that happening?
I don't know.
Yeah, because you bought it in the States now, right?
Yeah, I got an estate sale out of it. But there's 3 people that died in this house. So
And some cats.
Oh, a whole bunch of
yeah,
cats.
she had buku
Yeah,
cats.
she had a lot.
Yeah.
I bet that's what that noise was. A cat knocking something off.
It may have been. You never know.
You know, like I said earlier, I had a medium / investigator on here, and she said that a lot of times when people think something's demonic, it's just a dead cat.
Really?
Yeah. Like I got, you said, I got 3 scratches. I'm like, but if it's little, like it's
Oh
possibly
yeah,
just a dead cat.
Yeah.
She said it's happened a lot. Like she thinks she's going in, guns a blazing, crystals out, sage just a roaring, and I mean it's just a dead tabby. Now, I know you've heard of Ghost Adventures on Ghost Adventure, Real Ghost Stories Online. Tony Bruschi out of Arkansas. Oh, you should. It's a real good podcast. It's real. He's legit. He's you people, but he collects stories and puts them in an archive from people that tell personal stories.
Wow.
But he always talks about his black cat as a kid that died, and just the whole time he lived with his mom, it would smush down on the bed at night.
Wow.
And I don't know how he stayed in the room. And his daughter stayed in the room, and it happened to her.
Wow. Yeah. It's crazy. You could take so much for so long, you know.
I don't know. Like if you live in a house that's a cool haunting, like you seem like you may have, I don't want to say like a cool haunting, but like something that's tolerable. Like it's like a funny joke. Like I don't know if I could live in a house where things were just, I was getting headaches and all kinds of stuff, and couldn't sleep, always getting your bed rocked.
Well, my ghost drives my neighbor across the street crazy because Christmas Eve we went to my mom's house. There was nobody home. Okay, we had the house decorated outside, but it was hooked to a switch. That's the only way the lights would come on. Okay, so the next day he comes over and says, "I thought you went to your mom's house." I said, "We did." He said the Christmas lights came on, they went off. They came back on for 20 minutes, they went off. He said then they stayed on for half an hour and they went off and never came back on. There was nobody here.
Really?
Yeah.
Did anybody have eyes on Macaulay Culkin during that time?
And then one summer we're at work and he comes out of the house, he hears all this music blaring. He's trying to figure out where it's coming from. So he's looking around. He says, sounds like it's coming from George's house. So he walks over toward my house. And when he gets to the door, it goes off.
So that was kind of, I was thinking, what movie? Conjuring. Whenever he walked outside and you hear the tiptoe through the tulips. Is that not the creepiest effing 5 minutes of film there is? that little sucker dancing around.
Yeah.
Other than like The Ring when she says, "I want my mommy," I'm out on that too. I'm out. So have you ever? Here's one thing we have around here is slave graveyards.
Wow.
Have you ever had any experience like with that particular type of haunting? With the because we have those. I don't think we don't have like the there's none that I know about, but I know that's definitely a thing around, like especially New Orleans area. Marie Laveau. Yeah, I'm a history minor, and I went to college in Alabama, so I do know a little bit about that era, but I can't think of what Delaware was doing during that time. And I want to say maybe.
The soldiers.
The soldiers that they found in the swamp I told you about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know you mentioned that earlier. That's kind of the same thing. Yeah, the soldiers.
We did investigate that, and we did get some activity there where it wouldn't talk to us, and we feel that it wasn't talking to the women, but it actually talked to one of our guys investigator. Because
Mhm.
blacks were at that time could not talk to white women. So
That's interesting. So
Yeah.
he was still adhering to his customs.
right.
Yeah.
Getting back to this house here,
Keep going. I'll take all about
Wendy
that
and
house.
Wendy and I was back in their master bedroom, and with one of our mediums, and Wendy goes, "Did you hear that cat?" Because there was a meow, and there was a little round thing in the bed, in the center of the bed, just but nothing there. And all of a sudden, we heard the meow again on the floor. It to us is funny now. Here, Wendy and I crawling around the floor trying to find this little cat that's meowing. We never found him.
But yet again, when you went back and listened to the recorder, you could hear the cat meow.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of the propensity of a cat to haunt a place and the amount of cats that was in your house, that's got to be like 75% of what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what it is about cats that make them want to stick around. That's crazy. Like even if the owner was passed away, like has this happened after the owner, after she stopped flipping the Jeopardy channels? I'm just wondering. I'm workshopping it.
It was about the same time.
Like I wonder if like maybe maybe she crossed over and the cats went with her to hang out.
No, she's
Still here.
Oh, she's still there? Oh.
Yeah, she said she's not leaving.
No.
She don't like the color I painted the house, and she don't like the music that I play. We got that on record.
What'd she say? What'd she say about the music? Turn it
She
down.
doesn't prefer the music that I play. I play blues, and she does not like blues. So
What'd she want to hear? I mean, what time period is she from?
70s, so it's probably country.
I think
70s. Never heard of a 70s ghost.
Yeah.
What if she said Freebird into the EVP? Freebird.
Classic rock.
That's kind of cool. I mean, I can dig it.
Yeah.
I always said that if I ever did a, you know how some podcasts they get popular and they can have these live conventions, and they'll do them live at like a comedy club or like a little theater. And if I ever did it, I would spend the first 6 months before it learning Freebird, just the 14-minute LP 45 version. You know, and I would sing it. I come out and play it flawlessly, and put the guitar down, and just act like it never happened, and just start the podcast right then. Everybody, like, what the hell just happened? I'm talking just sitting on a. I don't know why it came to me one day. I was driving to work. I said, if that ever happens, that's what I'm going to do. Buy a brand new Fender.
Stop by my house. I can tell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man, I saw you had the guitars. I told you about that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, my stories are running together. How freaking old am I? It's okay though. I didn't tell anybody on the podcast though. You're privy to information. Anyway, we got another question, and I know the answer, but it might be fun. Do you think that ghost hunters or ghost adventures were legit? Now, ghost hunters was Taps. Now, Taps is legit.
Yes. No, I like Taft. They try to debunk everything.
I'd say he starts out debunking, which is what I like to do with stuff. Like I'll look at the blob squatch. I'm like, it's clearly a tree, dog. Tree. Yeah, but Bacon's just in it for the ratings.
That's all he's for. He's in it for the ratings and the money. That's it.
Yeah. The thing used to be that way when he started. They were
Yeah.
really good, but now it's gone.
Yeah, they're
It's all about, and they
Yeah.
stage things. They
Yeah.
stage everything.
And how can you be afraid if that's what you're supposed to
As
be
I said,
doing?
if you've done it for
Yeah,
30
Michelle,
years and
he's
you see something, why would you run or act like a little 5-year-old?
Right.
And he gets possessed every show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
So
The Taps guy, he got on to one of his people for running.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were in that prison,
Yeah.
and the dude just hauled off and ran. He goes, "You can't run. It's a ghost adventure. What do you want to happen?"
Penitentiary.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia.
yeah.
Yeah. That one kid was Dustin, but I forget the other
Dustin,
guy's name.
yeah.
Yeah.
He never came back. I don't think.
No.
I know
And
they have
ghost
tap.
They
Go ahead.
went-
Go ahead.
Sorry about that. Ghost hunters did go to Pea Patch Island, which is in Delaware.
Yeah,
The
they
one
went
we're
to the
talking
prison
about.
out on the water. They went there.
Yeah,
And they caught the blue captain.
yeah.
They called him blue captain.
Pea Patch Island, you said, in Delaware?
Soldier
Yes,
down in
it's
the
right
dungeon.
by us.
Right
It's in
in the
Delaware
dungeon.
City.
Yeah,
Let me look at a picture of that. Cool. Yeah, it seems like the areas that have the water, like you said, have all kinds of stuff.
yeah.
Like
That's
I don't
where
know
they
if it's
get
because
their
it's
energy.
haunted and near water or the water makes it haunted. I mean, does one beget the other? Oh wow. Reminds me of Alcatraz a little.
Yeah, it does.
Fort
You can
Delaware.
actually tour that place from early spring till fall. You can tour that place.
There's also a Fort Delaware
Mhm.
that housed orphanage, the soldiers,
Right.
and we did do a building there, and down the bottom in the basement there was actually body parts left
What was that?
Still?
where they
What DuPont?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. They left the parts there.
left the parts in the
In
the building.
jars.
Then he had that room where he
Had
kept
their
the
names
kids.
And they had the
The
straw room.
explanatory. Mhm.
Yeah, they had a room where they kept all the kids, and they had like little windows they could watch them. They would leave them in this room.
I bet people are getting some sightings on those windows. It just seems
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
there ain't nothing creepy in the kid
there
ghost.
was a room that had all straws and the shoes, but the straws were the janitors will pick them up and put them in the box and walk away again. When they came back, the straws were all over the building again in the room. We did not see that. We just heard it through the grapevines.
Also, they destroyed the whole place again and made a mess.
Yes.
Yes.
Classic. Now, have you gone outside of Delaware to do anything like the recreational, as I call them, the haunts, the famous ones?
Gettysburg. We went to Gettysburg.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Tony was telling me about that. What kind of stuff did you see there? Did you see the soldiers by the
We
cannons?
got a soldier walking across the bridge, and Jonathan actually took the picture.
It was called Sachs Covered Bridge, and it was what the Confederates used to retreat across when they went back down south after they lost the battle. And there's been rumors that it's been used as a field hospital for them too, I think. And some of them might be buried there.
I think that picture is on our webpage
I believe so, and yeah, it is.
that you can actually see the soldier walking
Oh,
behind.
yeah, it was. I was looking at your site all day. That's where I got that at. I was thinking, I just saw some pictures of Gettysburg today. That checks out since I was looking at your site.
And then we
They
got
had
several real big orbs in underneath the bridge.
So you got orbs underneath the bridge?
Mhm.
That's cool.
Well, the bridge.
Yeah, we got like orbs, like when we were like standing
From the rooftop.
in the bridge, like towards
the bridge.
the roof of it,
Mhm.
like floating in midair.
So you think can you pick out orbs? Let me ask this. I was wondering today, can you pick out orbs and with your naked eye, or is it always in a camera?
I've never seen
Yes,
it.
we
It's
have.
mostly on
Yes, we
camera.
We've seen one.
You can see
Came out of
the
there.
orbs.
I mean, but you can see them with your eye if you do see them.
Right, you can see them with your eyes sometimes,
I've never.
Not all the time.
but not all. Yeah,
Most of them are on
sometimes.
camera.
Mostly with people who take the pictures,
Mhm.
get back and look
That's
at
when they
them.
show up.
Yeah.
We see them
Yeah.
then.
So it's probably just something like you're not looking for that particular thing at the moment, but you go back and look at it and, oh, what is that?
Right.
Right, like the one that we did in George's house when we were down in the basement investigating down there.
Mhm.
One of the investigators that was down there, she was medium and so forth. She was getting very ill down there, so I started taking pictures. We had to take her out of there. When I pulled up the pictures, it was a big red orb around her.
A red orb.
A red orb. Oh, I mean, it was big.
That's
It's on our website.
That's on our webpage.
So we
What
had
is that way? It's
time
Dale
to grab
City.
her.
I literally wrote it down. I got it over here. I want to check. I may share that here in a second because you had some cool stuff on your webpage.
Oh, I can send you a lot more pictures if you want.
Man, I was showing people that one today. Because you
Which
look at it,
one?
like, oh, that's
Those steps?
the well, all the ones you showed me, but like
Yeah.
but like the one the sideways of the skull, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Like you in your mind, you're like, oh, that's an app, but then
Yes,
That's what we thought at first, but it wasn't.
I thought it was an app. I really didn't. We didn't have any of this.
I felt, oh shit, there it is. I'm sorry about my language there. I don't like to cuss in front of people I just met. But I guess since you're ghost hunters, you probably heard.
Yeah, right.
It's not like I'm
Well, we
springing
first came here.
a new one on you.
It was no problem to catch.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Red. That's
That would
crazy.
actually take the energy from her and making her so weak that literally we had to help her up the steps.
Wow, that
Take
was
her out. Do you remember that?
2014.
Yeah.
Wow, that was almost 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Now the other picture that you have there,
I think that's
That one.
Sterling.
Uh-huh.
Sterling.
Sterling.
That's
in
the
Delaware
Sterling.
City.
Jonathan took that picture. That is what's his name?
Walt.
No, the
Oh,
The
the
spirit.
spirit was named Enos Joseph. He committed suicide in that building in 1910. And I believe that is how he manifested himself, because I was trying to call out to him, like, can you appear?
Because we did
And
Enos Joseph, you said?
the same place.
Yeah, Enos
We caught
Joseph.
an orb and it had a hole in it.
That's
I was
crazy.
saying, can you show up behind,
Yeah.
like, are you here? I want to talk to you. Can I take your picture? And then I take that picture, and then I see that big orb behind the glass.
Oh, this one here on the left.
And there was nobody in that building at the time. So that
the
leads
building
me
was
to,
empty.
so that leads me to believe that
Mhm.
orbs are not just dust or bugs; they can also be paranormal
Oh, no.
as well. Because there was nobody in there to stir up the dust around.
The one with the
There's some big orbs you got there. It's not. You can tell when it's not just dust.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The way I feel about orbs is if there's only one orb and it's big, it has to be something.
Yeah.
If you see several pieces of things flying around, that probably it's a dust or bugs.
Yeah, like when it's just going crazy, like you're driving down a road in the
Yeah.
in the summertime.
Yes.
That's what they put on when you go to those crazy tours. They always put the infrared on, the IR, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at the orbs." I'm like, "Dude, you're in a 300-year-old."
Glasgow that we did. That one there was gift shop that we did in Glasgow with the big orb. Matter of fact, we were down in the basement. That's the same time when I had a spirit walk through me.
Right.
I was so cold, I had to go out to my vehicle,
And
put
turn
hand
it.
warmers on, put the
Wow.
heat on, and I still
walked through
couldn't
you.
get warm.
Yeah.
And the funny part is, Amy and the rest of them that were investigating with me, they seen it
Go through you.
go through me, and it was
Wow.
like I just couldn't get warm. I just wanted to go home. That was it.
Wow.
It just made you feel really cold.
It feels like your bones are chilled to the.
It was bad. It was cold. I'm talking bad.
As-
wow.
I always thought it would feel like you got like a big fever all of a sudden,
your temperature drops.
It's crazy.
like the chill.
Because
the
it's
fever you
taking
get.
your energy, so you're losing all your heat to the ghost
Yeah.
or the spirit.
Also, it's using you like a big battery.
Get warm again.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Gee.
Now we were up in Kenneth Square, and we were doing a walkthrough to see if we could investigate the place. One of our investigators was standing talking, and all of a sudden she was immediate, and the child that was there, the spirit of a child, went right into her, and she started giggling like a child.
Wow.
And you could tell her face just changed from being a what she looked like to a childish face.
Huh.
So she started giggling after the child came into her body.
That's like a little child, yes. And you heard the investigators say, "Get out of me!" And she says, "I have to leave this room," and she had to walk out of the room.
Huh.
It's like a demonic possession, but not.
No, it was just a child.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, but it's like a possession, but like a.
Yeah.
Right. Sure.
Sorry,
You never know.
I go a little heavy on the demonic when I talk about these things. It's kind of like when you go outside in the summertime, you have to check for snakes first.
Not around here.
Yeah.
You got to check for big black mosquitoes. They'll shoot you to the bone.
The grass will kill you in Alabama. Just know that.
Oh, horse flies.
Yeah, the mosquitoes kill you there.
I can imagine being around that brackish water. I bet they are.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Out there.
they look like B-52s. They land on your arm when you smack them. There's blood all over the place.
That one's
That's the one that was talking about the one that's there.
You're right.
I don't know, to be honest.
Was it cold? Is it cold up there now? I don't even know what.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the
It's kinda
30s.
chilly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like 80 degrees here.
Oh, wow. Must be
80
nice.
degrees and humid.
we're coming down there to investigate. You got a spot for us?
Tornadoes coming. Matter of fact, I just noticed our state has tornado warnings in it. That'll be fun. Yeah. Just what we do around here. Tornadoes and football.
Wow.
Somebody else said they had a question here, but they're not writing the other. Oh, it's a prankster. He doesn't have a question. Probably wants to know if his house is haunted. He bought an older house in the historic district of town.
Mhm.
Got too many dang kids to know if it's haunted. That is crazy. I'm just looking at this red orb. Like, why would it be red dust?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's not red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that,
You know, like,
yeah,
That's too big to be dust.
that's crazy.
about this Dover, Delaware. It's not the moon, is it?
No.
This one here?
Oh, that,
That was
Oh,
outside.
That's
alongside-
another- that's another-
That's
Yeah,
outside.
okay.
That's another orb outside.
He said, it's not the moon.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, it's not the moon.
It's a big orb.
Okay. I was looking at the house for a second.
Yeah.
I would play some EVPs, but I'm not real sure how to get the audio to come back on here. But yeah, those are some cool pictures. Here's one I forgot to ask Tony, and we'll wrap it up here in a second. We're getting close to an hour. I know it's getting late up there, and I don't know if the sky's going to try to kill me here. But how when it comes to like the ghost hunting, I say profession, how weighty is the full body apparition? Is that like the Holy Grail? Does that ever happen?
That is the holy.
It is
the
That
holy
is the
grail.
holy-
I feel like I want to put too much weight on it. Like, I mean, I know you'd want to get it, but it's like, do those? I mean, do they exist outside of once or twice, once in every million hunts?
Well,
Possibly.
possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Very rare to get one.
Yeah.
It's the right place at the right time.
that's
Yeah.
what basically is.
Like, I feel like when I think about ghost hunting, the full body is what I always want to see. But I guess the other little evidence, are like gathering coins in a sack, like it just equals to a bigger outcome.
Closest
Like
thing I got to it was that blue ghost I sent you coming down the
Mhm.
steps.
Oh, and the pictures
Little-
behind you in the basement.
Right.
And then the soldier at Gettysburg on
The
the
soldier
covered
at
bridge was the
Well,
closest.
that was a full body.
Yeah.
The soldier.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What about that thing behind you, like you were just saying in the basement?
Yeah. That was
I don't know what that was. At the time, it was pitch black. I didn't know it was there.
And then Kitty.
But if you blow the picture up, it has 3 faces.
Yeah, I noticed it looked like something like smiling really big.
Yeah,
or like a woman wearing a bonnet.
it was creepy.
It's very non-blob squatchy.
Oh yeah. Hey Bobby, we did a investigation at the Kitty Night House. It's a brothel. It used to be back in the day. Okay. Well, Miss Kitty fought the British off to keep her house from burning, like they burn all the other buildings down.
Mm-hmm.
So we investigated her room. Okay. She has a fireplace to the right and one of those big windows with the seat you can sit in. So I was sitting there, and the other investigators were on the bed. They were taking pictures and videos and all that. So the millimeter was going off, the lights were going off, the K2 was going off. So everybody was taking pictures. So later that night, we went through the evidence. I'm sitting on the windowsill. There's a lady standing beside me, handing a baby over my head to some guy.
Really?
Yes.
You don't have
I mean, that's in the picture. Just
You don't have it.
It's
Plain
in
as
the-
day?
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
crazy, man. It is like,
Yeah.
like, did you feel like the coldness off of her, or what?
Oh yeah.
His
Hair was standing up on my arm and everything.
Yeah.
That makes you wonder if they crossed over. It also makes me wonder if they used the same, lack of a better word, technology as the ETs and the Big Feet do.
Yeah.
Coming in, the Big Feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always looked for patterns. Like I've had all the big three. I've had the ghost. I've had the Bigfoot, the cryptids, and the UFOs. And it seems like ghosts are a little bit different. Their MO is like strictly spiritual instead of becoming physical at some point. It seems like a little bit different. Like I never hear guys like you talk about their memory card getting wiped.
No.
No.
Just the AA batteries getting drained.
Yeah.
Drain. That's all. The
The
energy.
cameras were shut off a lot
Right.
of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's frustrating too because the skeptics always say, "Well, it's convenient that it's dead now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing you always hear them say.
Yep.
Those are the ones I like to take with us, and it's pitch dark, and something taps them on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Then they rip the door off the hinges trying to get out of there.
Well, have you ever had one convert like mid hunt on you, like you just said?
No.
Convert from skeptic to believer in real time.
No, but I wish I could.
That would be. We got invited to go to Minnesota to a Bigfoot place that if he's all but guaranteed like something will happen, like a knock or something,
Oh wow.
and you know it's not like you're going to see a full body and it's some guy in a suit. Like it's the basic evidence. Like I guess to that community the sighting is the holy grail, like the full body apparition. But apparently hearing a wood knock or you know the smell.
Yeah.
The good old skunk ape smell. Apparently, that's the EVP and the orb of that world.
Wow.
And getting headaches and misled. They call it
Yeah.
zapping. Bigfoot zap,
Wow.
where it feels like you're having a seizure. Not a seizure, but like vertigo almost.
Yeah.
I wonder, do ghosts do anything like that? Like mess with give you like instant vertigo and
Yeah, they
headaches?
can,
What- yeah. You said that one lady did have that. Oh,
Yeah.
it's got to be similar.
Bobby, what I always say is the way that the person lived when they were alive, if they were nasty or if they were quiet, that's how the ghosts are. The actual spirit is going to be while they're dead if they were walking around.
So it's like the same personality.
Same
Yeah.
personality. That's why a lot of our clients call us and say that we have some, I don't know what's going on. There's a demon in there. It's not a demon. It's the person. They were nasty when they were alive. They're nasty now.
Man, when I die, you guys are in trouble.
I said when I die, I'm going to come back with my hugs.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a correlation between the type of person either that haunts either. Like it's not just all mean guys. Sometimes it's a little innocent kids or
Yeah, it could be a
little
little-
ladies
Yeah.
Yeah.
or a cat.
I think the
Yeah.
the little children gets lost in the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But it's sad when somebody doesn't want to let the one pass over.
Right.
We
Yeah.
had a case where we went, and it was a child, but she didn't want us to cross it over. Why? I don't.
the owner of the home.
Yeah.
Oh,
Didn't
so
want-
it wasn't.
She wanted to keep the child there. It wasn't her child. The child followed her from New Jersey back to where she lived.
That's a little
So she
sadistic.
had us in there investigating it so that we could prove that it was a child there. But when we asked her about crossing it over,
She didn't.
because
She
she wanted to let
refused.
the child go. Oh no, she didn't want to. I just think that's mean.
Yeah.
I just really believe that's mean.
I mean, that seems like it's like the definition of evil almost.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like the worst thing you can do to somebody,
Yeah.
Exactly.
other than actually killing them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like that,
And
that
we
movie.
had-
just-
We
Yeah,
had
yeah.
several investigation where there was another spirit holding the other ones hostage, and they wouldn't let them go. So we had to get rid of the nasty one first before we could send off the other ones.
How would they do that? Like, I'm asking you, like you know, but just stand in the way? Or how would they hold it hostage?
I have no. They
Yeah, I'm gonna say like that's
have a stronger
above your
force.
Yeah.
They have a stronger force.
Intimidation.
And right, and they actually control the other
There's
spirits.
probably someone very controlling in life.
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy. It just won't, like the other spirits won't let them. Like, why don't you want to cross over?
Yeah.
You would think that would be like the MO of everyone. I mean, if you know you're stuck there, like why wouldn't you try to go? But
Right.
maybe you know your plight. I don't know. Who am I?
That's
Who am I to judge? Well, all right, this has been a really fun hour, and I am gonna.
It was.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys joined. This is the first ever group sesh I've ever had on here.
Thank you for
And
having
actually,
me.
yes.
for
Thank you for
having
having
us.
us.
is this your first podcast or just
That's a third.
Third.
these things are fun. I'm not going to stop like some people do 6 months in. I'm trying to build like a marketing business and do this for a living, but for right now, just in the back room here.
Mhm.
Might see me on Rogan one day.
Well, if you ever come to Delaware, you can do an investigation with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely. I've got like 2 or 3 different areas. Like if I go, I have to go do things with paranormal people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't go near Texas, Colorado, or Minnesota. Now Delaware.
You sound like friends of ours. They won't come to our house when it gets dark. They come during the day.
Yeah.
See, I've got a thing that I want to see a ghost and or experience a ghost, but I don't want it to come with me. The attachment's what keeps me from diving head first. I don't want that.
Mhm.
Protect yourself.
You can protect yourself. Yeah.
Yes.
So that way you don't have to worry about taking something home.
Yeah, that's like the scariest part for me.
When we do an investigation and we know that we're going into an actual spirit, we actually put the white light around us.
Yeah, the white light's what I've heard a lot.
That's the best power. It's not going to stop it, but it can protect us from it happening. If the spirit wants to attach itself, it's going to attach it no matter what prayer you say.
Yeah.
It's going to attach to you.
Imagine it has to be a pretty strong-willed spirit to want to attach, though.
That's correct.
Yeah, one of those that's going to cause some havoc no matter what you do in the first place.
That's correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. That's not any less comforting. Now think about it. All right, I'll let y'all. I'll let you get back to it, to your 30-degree weather, and appreciate you coming on. Thanks everyone for watching and all the questions. Even though one person didn't ask theirs, looking at you, what is cooking? I'm gonna put this up here to shame. I'm gonna put him up here to shame him until we go offline, and I'll go ahead and end the live. But is there anything you want to tell people how to reach you or everything that I didn't say? I put the Facebook and the website in the description,
You
so
can
they're all
go
there.
through Facebook, online, Messenger, Gmail. They're all on our webpage.
And
Pretty
he's gonna,
responsive to the Gmail too. Light me up on the Gmail.
okay.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for being on
Thank you.
Thank you.
Delaware
Bye.
City.